You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Welcome to An Evening at the Movies. That's right. We're back. It is new episode day, and you're going to get a new episode released and live on the same day. So, yay for all you amazing unpopped kernels. But for those of you who don't know, this is the podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered down sodas, we talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them, and occasionally we wrap up our third theme of the year, like what, 2 days late, 3 days late.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But yeah, we had a week in April to kill, so we officially don't have a week to kill in April now.
It's dead now.
So
Dead and
I
buried.
figured, if we had to have a week off, it was going to come later in the month. Little did I know it was going to come the first week of the month. Hey, so
It's what
we
the
are
girl
back.
gonna do.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's an awful lot of chaos and everything going on the last couple weeks anyway. So, um, but yeah, at least this week there's no basketball and all that to screw everything up. So, Mhm.
Well,
and
this weekend there is, but not today.
well, yeah, but not today. And right now, fuck UConn right in the ass with no fucking lube, asshole son of a bitches.
Yeah, I officially have lost now, thanks to them.
Guess the good thing you had a gentleman's bet with the husband and not a legitimate bet.
For real.
Well, I mean, you still got Arizona.
Yeah, but so does he. So they cancel each other out.
Oh, so basically, he put a Jedi mind trick on you, and
Yeah.
I'm going to pick some of her same Final Fours, and that way,
I can't get any more points than he can get, and he's ahead of me. So that's all she wrote.
score for Jeej. Okay, no score for Jeej, but because we fully support the plobstership, and um, the plobster always needs to beat the husband every day of the week and
Exactly.
twice on Sunday.
Exactly.
Even though when it comes to March Madness, that very rarely happens.
This is
So,
true.
holy crap. I'm not going to lie. Our current views live right now is ticking in the upward direction.
Well, sweet. Well, then let's get to
And we
it.
were and we were even 3 minutes late getting started. So whoop whoop.
We speak for yourself.
I was doing 18 different things at one time trying to get ready. So, and on top of it, I had to redo my top five because I lost the top five because this episode was supposed to be done like 2 weeks ago, and I'm sure I'm going to hear about it in the
That's why you do what I do and you write it all down. It will
I
live
have a
on in
book.
infamy. The problem is I'm
Generally,
now in like my fifth notebook of podcasts notes.
yeah,
That's
I've
okay.
got more. I've got more than five floating around, but yeah, they're not complete ones either. So, yes, I didn't introduce her, but for those of you who don't know and couldn't tell by the dulcet tones that were coming over your speakerphones, or
Hmm.
see from the wonderful viewership that you are having on the YouTube, we're joined by everybody's favorite co-hostess, the loser this year, but well,
And
probably
most
next year
years.
too. But
Hey,
um, I fully support. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to mean you're going to win.
I am 16. No, I'm 4-16. Yeah, I'm not doing great. It's all right.
No.
I have other skills besides predicting the winners in one of the most unpredictable sports that exists. Thank you very much. People like to act like they're experts on brackets and the bracketologist. Like, how does that even become your job? But bottom line is, at the end of the day, statistics don't mean shit because anything can happen in sports, especially fast paced sports like basketball. Like, football, there's a
Okay.
little way, I think, but basketball can change in a second. So,
Literally last Saturday night, you had a team that was up by a significant number of points with not much time left on the clock. Okay, I'll cut it down to
yeah,
literally the
UConn came out
last
of nowhere. So,
seconds of the game. Literally, all Duke had to do was inbound the freaking ball and hold on to it and not do a damn thing. UConn would have had to foul. All they had to do was go down and hit a free throw, and then UConn would have had to go the length of the court and hit a 3-pointer to tie it and send it to overtime. But did they? No. We're going to try and push it up the court and make a highlight reel, and it ended up costing them a spot in the freaking Final Four, stupid asses.
so yeah, I mean, it's fun, and we usually make fun bets. Although this year we didn't because we only came up with one idea and ended up being stupid because we both would have gotten the same thing out of it. So it's fine, but I'm not that upset about it. I don't consider myself a loser because I can't predict an unpredictable sports outcome. Like, it's fun, but I'm not gonna get mad about it.
You could literally fill out a basketball or an NC2A bracket every year for 50 years straight and not have a winning percentage any of the 50 years that you pick.
The one thing I will say in my defense is that although I've only won, no, I've won 5 times, not 4. I have won when the stakes have been really high. Like the year we got a dog, that's because I won. The years that OU played Ohio State in both Norman and Columbus. So I got 2 things out of one bet. I won that. So I feel like when it really counts, I've won and gotten to shove it in his face. So yeah. Anyway, good luck to the
So,
Final Four. I'll still probably root for Arizona since that's who I picked to win, but again, doesn't matter.
well, I mean, who your husband picked too. So, all right. So, for those of you who need to be reminded, the month of March was women in history / female led movies for the month of March. We talked
Heck
about some
yeah.
great movies. We talked about some bad moms. We talked about some Wicked Witches for Good with Wicked Part 2. We also talked about another movie that disappeared from my brain, and it shouldn't have because Bad Moms is the one that I forget all the time. But it has been a great month. Our viewership has done phenomenally well, as it did in February and January too. So, but like I told uh, everybody's favorite piece of sexual chocolate yesterday when I was texting him, um, for an independent podcast like ours, where we don't do a lot of publicity and pushing out the episodes like others do. Um, every month of the year so far, we've averaged over 200 views per episode. So
I'll take
that's
it.
it. That's a huge jump from what some of the numbers were even like before we launched the YouTube channel and all of that. So An Evening at the Movies, 5 years old and still drawing decent sized numbers. I'm happy with it. I know that one, correct?
It's a lot of people watching me act a fool, but I'll take it.
I, oh, freaking
What you
duh.
gonna do?
It
Act a
literally
fool.
just dawned on me what the third movie was from the other movie was from the month that because it was the episode that I had absolutely no control over because Shanna was here. Legally Blonde. Not saying that Shanna is
I figured you'd
uncontrollable
remember.
by any stretch
I
of the
am. Shanna's uncontrollable. And us together, yeah.
no, I gotta say, no, don't you dare put that on Shanna. You put oil and vinegar together, and you get salad dressing.
We are not okay. I was like, we are not oil and vinegar. We are peanut butter and jelly, and you're just peanut butter and jealous.
Oh, I mean,
But
it is what it is.
I'm
So,
just kidding.
but yeah,
All right. So last movie for the
before
month.
yes, before we move on to next month's movies, which we will get to at the end of said episode, because that's how we know it. Do it.
Know it.
Evidently,
Do
it's
it.
Friday, and I can't talk. So,
Sounds like you're trying to do Baby Jane Doe. I can't even say it. I can't. I wish I could. Baby Jane Doe. I can't say it the way she
well, I
does, but
mean,
I
that's
can't do a New
basic.
York accent.
That's basically how we came up with the KCB nickname was because I can't talk, and
Very true.
pretty much how Jean got her nickname too. So, all right. So one last movie for um, Women in History Month slash female led movies. We're going to talk about the movie Hidden Figures.
Woo!
So,
You know what?
I'm
I'm
go
actually
ahead.
kind of glad that we're doing it today, even though we're late, because now we can talk about Artemis 2 and the history with that while we're talking about this. It's a great week for women in space
Yeah, it's
or
almost like
women helping
somebody
people
was
get to space.
cosmically pulling the puppet strings. No, you don't want to do Hidden Figures when you were supposed to. You
Exactly.
want to wait and do it 3 days late. Well, you got your wish. We're doing it 3 days late. So, Hidden Figures, also known as KCB's very first time watching this movie, which I don't understand why it was my first time watching the movie. I think it's been on my to watch list. That stuff always pops up and gets. You got a to read list. You know how stuff gets released and gets put at the top of the pile, and old stuff
Yeah.
gets pushed further and further down the list. And before you know it, it's been almost a
Oh
decade,
man,
and I'm finally getting around to watching it.
that reminds me. I wanted to show everybody my book because my book also ties into what we're talking about today. The book I'm currently reading. So we
Well,
can
the
talk about
book
it a little bit.
everybody's favorite unpopped kernel is reading as well ties into this movie as well because Brandy is currently reading the literature version of Hidden Figures as well.
Good, because I was going to bring that up too. Um, for people that don't know, we're going to get into Hidden Figures, but we can start off by saying that it is based on a book by Margot Lee Shetterly called Hidden Figures: The American Dream and the Untold Story of the Black Women Who Helped Win the Space Race. Yeah, that is a long title.
Yeah, I thought last week's title for Wicked was a long title.
I mean,
That
people
was just,
obviously just refer to it as Hidden Figures, but
well, yeah, I mean, but yeah, Wicked was, the book title was Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. That's nothing compared to what you just read off for Hidden Figures. So, all right, are we ready for some background information, peoples?
Let's do it.
All right, so like I said a second ago, tongue in cheek wise, um, Hidden Figures released on January 6th, 2017. It was directed by people and their stupid last names. Theodore Melfi.
Sure.
Don't shoot the messenger. Melfi. So pronounce that however you want to, but just don't
I'm
flip the E
guessing it's
and I.
Melfi.
Yeah, because if you flip the E and the I, you get Milfy, and that's what Stifler's mom is. But it was released
Leave
by
the
20th
comedy to
Century.
me, okay?
I'm funny sometimes.
Looking. What?
Whatever.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hidden Figures was released by 20th Century Fox. It had a budget of $25 million. Um, I'm assuming most of which went to pay Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Had a box office of $236 million. And if you have not seen Hidden Figures, one, shame on you. And then when you're done shaming on you, shame on you again because just shame on you. We'll get to that portion later in the episode as well. But if you have not seen the movie, it is currently available to watch on HBO Max. I don't have my soundboard pulled
Yep.
up yet, so you get fake drum rolls
Yeah.
from KCB today. Um,
That's
and everybody's favorite game in the world. I have Rotten Tomato scores. Well, I have a Rotten Tomato score. I have technically two, but I have a Rotten Tomato score.
Oh, so they're the same.
Yes.
Does that
I
make my
mean,
life easier or more difficult? I can't decide.
I,
Okay. All
mm,
right. Well, I definitely get a 5-point
yeah, I
spread
don't.
then. Okay.
So,
That's
yeah,
interesting. Okay.
fair warning: this movie did not do as poorly on the scale as next week's movie is going to do. So you've been warned for next
Oh,
Thursday when
okay.
we do that movie, which happens to
Well,
be
that's
your movie.
stupid. If people didn't find that movie funny, they're stupid. But we'll get to that later. Okay. So I'm gonna go.
Wait till you see the Rotten Tomato score.
That's fine. It's not for everyone. I'm gonna go pretty high because I know. I mean, we're gonna get to it in a second. This movie was nominated for a lot of awards. It won
Didn't
several
win.
awards. I don't know anybody that's seen this that didn't like it. Um, I'm gonna be really, really slutty today. It's Friday. I'm feeling good.
Not surprised.
I'm gonna go 91%.
And I'm trying to find it. There it is. The Rotten Tomato score for Hidden Figures on 50,000 plus audience reviews and on 323 critic reviews is 93%.
Ooh, look at me, look at me. That was close.
So
As it should be.
at least they semi got it a lot better than, well, the critics got it more right this week than they did last week.
Yeah, I mean
I'm still
this
gonna
movie
give that
is amazing. You know, it may not be a 10 out of 10 for everybody or whatever, but uh, there's really not much to not like about this movie. So, okay.
it goes to the places that need to be discussed, and we'll get to this when we get to the discussion, but it doesn't go to the uncomfortable.
I
It
mean,
can be a little uncomfortable. It's not like Schindler's List uncomfortable or
well, that's not the point of the story. I know what you're
disgusting.
saying,
Yeah.
but that's also not the. It goes to the uncomfortable points that are valid to the telling of the story. So, okay. Well, before we talk about what Hidden Figures is about, again, like I said, lots of award nominations. I'm really just going to go over the big ones. We'll start in total awards of everything 37 wins and 95 nominations. So this movie is very, beloved. Academy Awards, it got 3 nominations, no wins, but it was nominated Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Supporting Actress for Octavia Spencer, and it was nominated for Best Picture. It lost to, ironically, another movie starring Mahershala Ali. It lost to Moonlight. So you can't really be mad about it. Moonlight was an amazing movie.
I was gonna say I looked up the awards, like especially the Academy Awards for this one, because I thought this one won more Academy Awards, but it didn't. And the awards it lost, I mean, it lost to movies that are pretty good movies as well. So
yeah,
you can't necessarily.
And then,
ooh, that was robbed. No, not really.
And then Octavia Spencer lost to, and I don't know how I feel about this because I love this movie. I love this actress, and I thought she did a great job. But honestly, I feel like maybe, I don't know. She lost to Allison Janney, who played the mom in I, Tonya. Now, Allison Janney is good at playing a hardcore bitch, and she did a really good job in that movie. So maybe because it was a little more out of character. I don't know. They both deserved it. So again, I'm not mad about it. But
I mean, CJ on the West Wing.
yeah. I mean, Allison Janney is a fucking national treasure. So
And that and Mom, Mom is my
Mom,
two
yeah,
favorite
she's good on that.
Allison Janney roles.
Yeah.
Not that she hasn't done other great stuff.
Oh,
Trust
she's
me.
done so much great
But
stuff.
CJ and Anna Faris's mom in Mom. Whew,
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
It also, so we're Saturn Awards real quick for people who don't know, that's the awards for the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror. It won Best Action Adventure Film, and then Taraji was nominated for Best Actress. BET Awards, it did win Best Picture. Mahershala Ali won Best Actor. Janelle was nominated for Best Actress, and Taraji won Best Actress. Not sure why Janelle wasn't nominated for Best Supporting Actress, but either way, good for both of them. Lots of other ones, but I feel like, there we go. Golden Globes, Octavia Spencer nominated for Supporting Actress, and then it was nominated for Best Original Score. So Hans Zimmer, Pharrell Williams, and Benjamin Wallfish. So all 3 amazing people who work on, well, Pharrell, we know Pharrell does regular music, but Benjamin Wallfish and Hans Zimmer, like epic film score dudes. So
I mean, as far as composers go, about the only other name bigger than Hans Zimmer when it comes to movie soundtrack composition or movie score composition is John Williams.
right.
I said what I said, and I mean it.
I mean,
Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Jaws,
yeah,
E.T., and that's just the well-known stuff that he's done.
right.
Harry Potter. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
What is this movie about?
Hidden Figures, which, by the way, they adapted this super quick because that book came out in 2016. So I wonder if they
Damn.
already kind of knew. Like, I wonder if the author had already been pitching it to people as she was writing it. But either way, Hidden
Probably.
Figures tells the true story of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, 3 African American women at NASA who overcame sexism and segregation to propel the U.S. into the space race. And not part of the plot, but they're part of the facts of it. It is part of the plot, but not the summary. But their calculations and their work helped launch John Glenn into space, which is, everybody knows John Glenn. John Glenn's the guy, right?
Yeah.
So, and I learned something. We're going to talk about John Glenn because I was very impressed with something in this movie that I had to immediately go look up to see if he actually said it, and he did. So I was happy. Now the book I'm reading, John Glenn was quoted again on something else like 20 years later, and it was so disappointing. So we're going to get to that at some point when we talk about Hottie McHotface playing John Glenn. So yeah.
What's his face?
What the hell is that guy's name?
Freaking dude from Top Maverick.
Gun, Glenn Powell. Jesus. I was like, it's right there. It's like, I knew it was Glenn because I was like, oh, John Glenn Powell. Okay. Sorry. It took me a minute.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't freaking Miles Teller because he played Rooster, but I knew it was like, John Glenn, or not, Glenn Powell, Miles Teller, and John Hamm was who I meant to say. Were like behind Tom Cruise, the bigger names on that cast list. So I do have a question, although probably it'll get a brief response from my co-host. But I would like to know, in your opinion, how iconic is it to have 3 colored women chasing a white popo down the highway in Hillbilly, Virginia? Open your movie.
Okay, sorry. To be clear to everyone, we don't normally use the word colored, but that's how they say it in the movie. So I'm guessing that's why we're phrasing it.
That's why I went that.
Yes.
No disrespect, but yes.
But yeah, no, so honestly, watching this movie for the first time, having not really known, I knew what it was about because the media told me. I had not read the book. So I knew that nothing was going to happen to these women because I knew that they go far in the movie, but I was scared for them. And that's a pretty dramatic opening to have like a white police officer pull over these 3 black women trying to fix their car. And first of all, they fucking know what they're doing, which is amazing. Or at least,
mind you, this is like 1950 something odd Virginia.
Yeah,
so the odds of this going in their favor were slim to none. So the fact that it ended the way it ended, hats off to them, but that totally could have gone a very dark and very uncomfortable place.
Oh, and he was looking for a reason. And you know what really stood out to me, and it goes on through the movie, but especially with the police officer, is the yes sir, oh yes sir, thank you sir, yes sir, of course sir, yes sir, thank you sir, just the way they are so overly polite. And it's not just to him, it's to all the men in the movie, which obviously goes back to sexism, but especially with the racism, they're like, please God, do not let me do anything to be killed while I'm on my way to work. And what's interesting is that once they mention that they work for NASA, and he realizes they're, patriots and heroes and this and that, whatever, then he's like, oh, let me escort you to work. It shouldn't fucking matter. They're human beings just like you. They're just because they're women or just because they're black and both obviously combined, it shouldn't fucking matter. You shouldn't be looking for a reason to harm them. And that's definitely what he was doing. And
Yeah.
it was so scary and frustrating, and I just can't.
Therein lies one of the uncomfortable portions of the movie
Yeah. Like,
because
I just can't imagine that. Like, as a woman, I know what it's like to have to be sometimes overly nice to a man so that I don't hurt his feelings, so that he doesn't try to hurt me.
whatever, that doesn't
And,
stop you with me.
well, because first of all, you're not going to hurt me. And even if you were, I'm not scared of you and you live too far away. I could see you coming. But I know what that's like. But you put that on top of it, it's not just with men, it's also with white people, white men, but also white women. Like, I can't imagine having to be that put together and that overly polite all the time when somebody is literally spitting in my face, insulting me, calling me horrible names, dehumanizing me. Like, my temper could never. If I had been black, pre end of segregation, or even now, probably my mouth would already got me killed. Like, so hats off to them, because fuck.
For those of you not following Amanda on social media, her mouth tends to write checks that her butt can't cash.
Very true. They cash in Facebook jail. And
That's
sometimes in the
what
comments
I
of
was
the evening
referring
at
to.
the movies. So yeah, that was definitely, it was a good opening, and I'm glad that it ended well. But it was a good way of introducing, kind of, for people that don't know how that time period operated.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If that had gone the other direction that it could have gone, that would have set a totally different tone for the rest of that movie.
Oh,
Not
absolutely.
that there wasn't still moments throughout the rest of the movie that were not mind-numbingly cringy. Um,
But
yeah,
other than that moment, you
Tara-
don't really get the feeling that any of the black people are going to be killed just because they're
no,
black. The rest of it is more, and again, not saying it doesn't matter, but like, it's the having to go to a different bathroom to pee, not being able to check out books at the library, or certain books at the
not
library,
just a
which,
different
pissed me
bathroom.
the fuck off.
It's a
Well,
different
I said,
bathroom 8 miles across freaking campus.
right, like having to go to a different building, like, all things that are awful and terrible and make you uncomfortable and should make you uncomfortable and were horrible, but luckily not things that made us think anybody was going to be killed, because that would have set, you're right, a different tone for the movie and made it harder to absorb the true meaning of the story and the facts and all of that.
Yeah,
But they got us in the first 10 minutes for a minute.
yeah.
Um,
Uh,
I've never seen anybody point this out, but I'm sure lots of people have thought about it, but it just occurred to me and it made me kind of laugh. I love, and maybe the author meant it this way when she wrote the book. She probably did. She's way smarter than me. I love that Hidden Figures has a double meaning. Like, Hidden Figures, as in the math has to be discovered. It's hidden. You have to figure out the math and use math that doesn't exist anymore, which is basically what they do. First of all, to be fucking smart enough to understand math that no longer exists and then use it, but then also hidden figures, because these women are the hidden figures behind the, white people, white men that, got a lot of the
yeah.
credit. So I just
If
think it's
the
so cute. I love
evolution
it.
in this hadn't happened in the story, I mean, the status quo could have gone along, and all the men would have gotten credit for everything happening, and they just would have got, yeah, go back to where you were, leave us alone.
Well, and I mean, for a long time they did. I mean, oh, what's his head? Paul, uh, Catherine was writing all of his stuff up and he wouldn't let her put her name on it. Like, he was getting all the credit for a lot of her work. And
Dr. Sheldon Cooper.
yes, it made me laugh when he goes, computers don't write essays. I was like, wait till this guy hears about AI.
Yeah, because Yeah, that would be one of the things that. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't finish going into teaching because AI is totally fucking with the public education system now.
AI is a menace. I
Kids
am
can literally
terrified
go
of it.
home and open
Yeah.
Chat GPT and be like, write me an essay about the Emancipation Proclamation. Beep. And then Chat GPT will spit you out a whole freaking
Yeah.
PhD level. Yeah, I won't go that far because I've seen enough on social media to know AI doesn't always get it right.
Of course not. You know, one thing I didn't know until I saw this movie is that before actual computers, the people, the mathematicians and people who did all this work behind the scenes, they were referred to as the computers. I didn't know that. When they kept calling them the
Yeah.
computers, I'm like, what? And then they bring in that giant IBM, like the size of an industrial sized refrigerator.
It
I'm
reminds me
cracking up.
of the computer in war games that runs
Yeah.
the global thermonuclear warfare or whatever the hell the game was called. I don't remember word for word because
Yeah.
let's be honest, I'm old, but I'm not old enough to remember the fact that how shit was back in the 50s. That's still a few decades before my time.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, that computer was hilarious watching them dick with that. I'm like, wait, what? But I mean, I remember, like having my stepdad had one of the original PCs and we had a dot matrix printer but I like working with the very first computers. I can't even imagine again, like,
Mm-hmm.
what's her name? Dorothy's going in there trying to, she knows how to program it. Like, how the fuck does that even work? Like, how do you know how to program something that everything about this movie with the science and the math just blows my mind. I don't understand how people do math like that. I really don't.
No, because I definitely do not have a math brain at all by any stretch of the
Me either.
imagination. Like, I get the whole like when people post the stupid things on social media about the 3 + 3 × 10 + 4, what does it equal? I'm like, I can figure
Fuck
that out
them.
because I know the damn rule, but
Right. But this is
looking at the
like
damn comments and seeing how
advanced
people,
algebra,
yeah, no,
trigonometry. Like, yeah, I just
yeah, no,
watching her do all that math on those chalkboards, I'm like, and then again, having to go back and use an ancient form of math that hasn't been used in like a century to solve the problem they're trying to solve. Like, it's just, the brain power of these women, especially given the fact that Black women in that time were not given a good education. Like,
mm-mm.
so much of that is just pure raw brain power and talent. And then obviously, tenacity and all of that. But it's not like they got to go to school like other people did and learn math like other people did. They weren't allowed those opportunities. So, how these women were able to do this is just, I don't think I
No,
could ever be more impressed with anything than I am with this.
and it's a genetic line of succession too, because obviously, oh well, she didn't get it in school because, or they didn't get it in school because colored people did not get that kind of an education back then. Okay, well, she wasn't getting it at home either because her parents obviously weren't getting that kind of
Right.
level of education either. So, like you
I
said,
mean,
it's pure, legitimate, raw brain power.
because she is basically, what, two, maybe three generations removed from slavery? And that's being generous. And so you got to think
Yeah.
about like, nobody was getting that kind of education. Like, it's mind blowing to me how smart they were. Obviously, how smart anybody that works at NASA is, but thank you. Sorry, I had
Hi,
George bring me
Jeej.
something. Kasey says hi. George says hi. So yeah, I don't know. Math has always boggled my mind just because I don't have that kind of brain. And I just, again, watching these women out run circles around these men with this math is just fucking amazing.
Well, and they're not just running circles around the men. They're running circles around incredibly intelligent men who have a whole lot of
Right.
brain power to be able to do and come up with the things that they're coming up with. I mean, they're like it was brought up earlier in the movie, but these are the men that are helping create the runner up to the space race because the
Right.
United States was second place in the race to the moon.
Well, and if Katherine Johnson is sitting here running circles around the rules of math, even like,
Mm-hmm.
and so one thing I was so frustrated for her with was she's doing all this math, and faster than she can do it, the situation is changing. And for people that don't know, space travel, I'm going to make a really, really dumbed down comparison, but it's like baking. It's an exact science. And one little fuck up can fuck up the entire thing. If you're re entering the atmosphere and you don't do it at the exact angle, at the exact right time, at the exact speed, you will burst into flames and die. And that's not the only thing they're calculating, but it's just, I don't know. It's again, just mind space in general and how people do that is all mind blowing to me. Oh, you're muted, buddy. Again.
Okay, better.
There you are. Yeah.
So, like I was going to say, in our 40 some odd years of life, we have seen some stuff happen aeronautically, Challenger explosion, things of that nature. There's, yeah, to back up what you were saying, though, a lot of there is a very exact science to all of it because, yeah, like Amanda said, you don't hit the atmosphere at the right angle, you explode, bounce off, and go drifting off into space, never to be heard from again. Whatever the case may be, it's a very finite, perfect science.
Very.
Oh, there's no room for error at all, top to bottom.
So I was just going to mention, talk about John Glenn for a second. The kind of the launch that they're focused on in Hidden Figures is the flight that sent John Glenn, who was the first American to orbit the Earth. So I think it was. Hold on, I had it pulled up. The Mercury Atlas 6 mission. And so, yeah, basically what they're trying to figure out and kind of like the climax of the movie is that Catherine has to calculate the re-entry trajectory so that he doesn't burn up on re-entry and doesn't die and lands in the ocean where he's supposed to. And one of the things I loved, I mean, they make John Glenn very approachable and friendly and, a down home good old boy in this movie. And according to all accounts, that is the truth. He was very much like that in real life. And one of the things he says in the movie,
I was just gonna say I've seen real biography or biographical movies where they make somebody look like Glenn looked in the movie, and then you do the research. And it's like, that guy's a major asshole.
Exactly. So that's why I researched all this again because I haven't read the book, which I should probably just do. But by all accounts, John Glenn was how he was portrayed in the movie. And towards the end when they're getting ready to do the launch and they still don't have the math right, and somebody brings the math and he says, what does he says? He says, have the woman check it. He's like, if she says the numbers are good, then I'm good. And I was like, my immediate reaction was, there's no fucking way he said that. But he did. So kudos to them for getting that right. And kudos to him for,
Yeah.
trusting someone who is a woman and is black and wouldn't be, he was so impressed with her and he knew she knew her shit.
Trusting somebody without a penis.
Exactly. But what bums me out about it, and now I'm going to show off my book to everybody. I am reading this book, Atmosphere, by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And it is fiction, but it is based on the first female astronaut to go into space in like 1982, 83, something like that.
Sally Ride.
It's a love story mostly, but it's also a lot about these women who are going to be the first women to go to space with NASA. But they talk about this congressional hearing, which really happened, that John Glenn spoke at. And basically, he said that it was a fact of our social order that men are the people who should be astronauts and that women should never be astronauts. And again, when I read that in this book, I was like, wait, he couldn't have said that given what he said in Hidden Figures, but I looked it up and he sure as shit did. So that really bummed me out. Like, again, rest in peace, John Glenn. You're an American hero, but
one step
that
forward,
makes
two
me sad.
steps back.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like,
Like,
you're a hero for saying what you said. No, damn it, you're a dick for taking it back and throwing it in the toilet.
but like, why would you say that knowing that you've seen these women at NASA, they can do the math. And I get that there are physical and mental aspects of going to space that are very, very important. But women have already shown you, especially by 1980 to 84-ish, that they can do more than you think they can do. And for somebody who seems so progressive in the 60s, it just sounds like a sexist old white guy in the 80s. It bummed me out. But anyway.
Yeah, not making excuses for him, but you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I disagree, but so I used to think that, but I am no longer giving a pass to people because of what generation they're from. Me as an adult, the hell? What was that?
That was my soundboard.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know what the sound was supposed to be.
An explosion.
Oh, okay. It sounded like horses running almost. We can all learn, we can all grow, no matter how old we are. And your generation is not an excuse for bigotry or sexism or whatever isms you want to throw at them. So, anyway.
So, the typical discussion points that we need to get to, because, wow, we're definitely running long tonight.
Yeah.
Is there anything about this movie that you feel like doesn't work?
I mean, not really.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. The only like negative things I can think of are things that are supposed to be negative based on the story and things that are supposed to make you feel some kind of way, which makes the movie a good movie, not a bad movie. So I can't really, I mean, I don't think it was slow. I don't think it was over dramatic. I don't know. Not me. What about you?
No, I literally, while I was sitting here writing out my notes for the episode when we were going to do it like 3.5 weeks ago, I got to that portion, and normally I'll put, things that don't work, and then underneath it, I'll make little notes about this, that, the other thing, so I make sure I know what to bring up. And I literally sat there for like 15 minutes staring at the page, and I could not think of anything through this movie that doesn't work. I
Yeah.
it it isn't poorly paced at all. Like for a 2 hour, just over 2 hour long movie, it starts and the end credits roll, and it feels like it's only been like 15, 20 minutes. It moves that fast. Well, maybe not
Yeah.
that fast, but you get my point. Um, I felt like it was well directed. The acting was good. Nothing was, and that's coming from somebody who isn't necessarily a huge Kevin Costner fan. But I don't even feel like Kevin Costner,
Lame.
like most other Kevin Costner movies, I can pick out something that he did wrong. I don't really feel like even he had something that I could pick apart and say, "There's your bad point right there."
Yeah. I don't think this role was very much of a stretch for Kevin Costner. Not downplaying how good he was in the movie because he was great, but I don't.
No,
I feel
I
like this was probably very close to his actual personality. Like, I mean, him beating down that colored bathroom sign and basically, or like white bathroom sign or whatever, and he's like, okay, we're because. I mean, is it
at
because he
NASA we all
believes
pee the same color.
exactly? To me, it's like does he believe in segregation? He probably doesn't. But at the same time, he's not doing that because of segregation. He's doing that because her having to run 30 minutes to the bathroom is impacting the work he's trying to do. And I can appreciate that. I mean,
Well, yeah,
it's
because
like,
what normally would take a couple, 3 or 4 minutes, she
right.
stop, go run to the bathroom, pee, and then come back and get back to work.
I
No,
mean,
she has to
they,
run all the way across campus for 8.5
yeah.
miles, all the way back, plus the time to, do your business. It's probably 45 minutes out of her freaking day every time she has to
That's what
pee.
he says. He's like, where do you go every day for 45 minutes at a time? And, it's like, I feel like they towed the line well of not turning him into this white savior guy, but also making it where he didn't have time for that bullshit. He didn't care if she was black or that she was a woman, except for when it came to certain rules. But even then, he would override the rules. And he would be like, you know what? She needs to be in the room so we can get this math right. She's fucking coming in the room. Like, he was the
Yep.
kind of guy who did not give a fuck about anything except the job. And he was willing to do whatever it took to get the job done. Like, fuck
Yeah,
societal norms. He did not care. And I liked that.
he he absolutely 100% was not the typical cookie cutter white savior, but yeah, he wanted the job done and he wanted it done now, and he was willing to do whatever it took to get that job done.
Like,
And if
even
it
if he
meant,
was, oh, sorry.
well, I was into, if it meant taking down a whites only bathroom sign, he was going to do it. If it meant bringing a female of color into a meeting that's men only, he was going to do it.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, it seemed like he was a very sympathetic character that he didn't, in my opinion, I felt like he just really believed it was all bullshit. But even if, like, let's just say, even if he was this super bigoted, racist, sexist guy, I think he
Mhm.
still would have acted the same way because that's how committed he was to the job. So it's like, I think even if he hated black people, he still would have made that same decision because it was about getting the job done and saving lives and exploring space. Obviously, I don't think that's who he was. Like, they made it clear that he wasn't
Well, and
upset about that, but still.
like we said a couple minutes ago too, at this at the point that the events of this movie transpire, we are not winning the race to space or race
Right,
to the moon or whatever you want to call it. We're in second
right,
place behind Russia,
right.
and that is a very much sticking point for a lot of Americans back then because America woo woo woo
Yeah.
and Russia boo boo boo. But so that definitely probably lit a fire under a lot of people's butts. But at the same time, um, Kevin Costner's character was the only one willing to put his foot down and say, no, stop the bullshit and let's get to work and get this done and done right. So,
Yeah, like when he was like, "Okay, you can all drink from the same fucking pot of coffee. Like this is stupid," and like just stuff like that. Like he definitely,
yeah.
again, I think he was sympathetic to the cause, but at the same time, he was just like, he's kind of like a zero fucks guy. Like I don't have time for this stupid petty bullshit. Look, he said everybody pees the same color. Y'all can use the same bathroom. Y'all can drink from the same coffee pot. If she needs to be in here because that's how it's going to get the job done, she's going to be in here. I don't care what the protocols say. Like, just fuck it all. Let's do what we're here to do. Because, I understand. Like, I used to kind of think it was stupid. Like, why did America have to do it first and this and that, whatever. But I get it now because whoever does it first controls the narrative and they control the future of that exploration. If Russia does everything first, guess what? We're following Russia's lead. We are doing what they say, and they're controlling the narrative of how it happens and when it happens. And so I get why, America wanted to be everything first because we want to control the narrative. We want to control how space is explored and who does it and why they do it and all of those things.
Not 100% sure what exactly Jamie is exactly, but I will gladly agree with you on that point, Jamie.
Everything. Just exactly to everything because we're just always right.
Well, and the simple down layman's version of it, at the end of the day, who wants to come in second place in any kind of competition?
Fair.
I mean, if your stupid New England Patriots had won the Super Bowl in February, I'd have been pissed and miserable for, well, probably still be pissed and miserable and grouchy and fuck the world. But I'm not, and I get to poke the sleeping bear until next February. So, ha 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 ha. So I feel like there's a whole bunch of great stuff about the movie that we can get to, but I feel like probably we could save that for um, when we do our ratings and reviews.
Yeah. The only other thing I like real quick just wanted to touch on was a few favorite quotes because I thought like you mentioned everyone pees the same color. I think that Mary's character had some of she's probably my favorite. She is so like fuck the man, damn the man, save the empire, like just fuck it all. She's just so blunt, but I love when they're looking at John Glenn and she's like talking about how hot he is and they're like, oh, he's white and she's like what did she say? I have the right to see fine in every color. It's just so funny. And then when they were like, if you were a white man, the Russian guy was like, if you were a white man, would you wish to be an engineer? And she's like, I wouldn't have to wish, I'd already be one. Like, I don't know, that really stands out as kind of like, yeah, she wouldn't have to wish for it. She wouldn't have to ask to be able to take the college classes. She wouldn't have to jump through all these hoops. She would just be able to do it. And it's just like a reminder of how bad things were for people. Well, Black people, women, but Black people even more, Black women specifically.
Well, I mean, these three had the double whammy because not only were they people of color, but they were women of color.
And then the only other thing that I could think of that made me laugh really hard was when Paul was like, or it might not have been him, it might have been one of the other random dudes. It's like, what if she's a Russian spy? And he's like, are you a Russian spy? And she's like, I'm not Russian. Like, it was so funny the way she says it. She's like,
oh my God.
No, I'm not Russian. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like
But
what the hell are you people smoking?
exactly. Was there any other ones you could think of? I'm having a hard time remembering anymore. I mean, there's a lot
I
of good
think you
ones
hit the
though.
big one. You hit the ones that I had noted down, obviously because you and I share the same brain.
Right.
So, um, do you have a amazing top 5 list that you would like to share with our awesome unpopped kernels?
I sure do. So I went with my top five Black female pioneers, specifically in the science areas. So, science, math, medicine, that area. Because, we can talk about Rosa Parks and people like her all day and amazing people, but I wanted to kind of like stick with what we're talking about in the movie. So, women that contributed to science specifically. Um,
Well, and somebody
so,
else might cover some of the other stuff too. So,
well, and yeah, when you said that, I was like, we may have some overlap, but we'll see. Okay. So my number
maybe.
5 it is Mae Jemison, and she was the first Black woman to travel to space. She was on the Endeavour in 1992. So think about that. A woman didn't go to space until the early 80s, very early 80s. A Black woman didn't go till 1992. And right now, the first person of color is going to the moon on the Artemis. So there you go.
Whoop, whoop.
Number 4 is Gladys West, and she was a mathematician who helped develop satellite geodesy models. I think I said geodesy right. So basically, helped develop all these models of the Earth, which was what they ended up using to create GPS. So
That doesn't work and recalculating, recalculating, recalculating.
exactly. And number 3 is Dr. Patricia Bath, and she invented laser cataract surgery. So kudos to
He's
her.
the reason that Amanda can see without having
Exactly.
glasses on.
Thank you very much.
8 months later after the surgery, but you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, exactly.
At least her mind is alive.
For now. Number
I
2
got the Tay
is,
Tay reference this time.
yeah, hopefully most people too. I'm not asleep. My mind is alive. Number 2 is Marion Croak, and she invented a voice over internet phone, which everybody uses. So good for her. And then at number 1, I obviously have Catherine, Dorothy, and Mary, all in their own ways doing amazing things, contributing at NASA, making computers work, getting someone into space and back safely, being an engineer. And I believe Mary Jackson did become the first female Black engineer at NASA. So, yeah.
Whoop, whoop. I believe that's what it said in the stuff across the bottom of the screen at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves while I scroll back to get to my notepad.
Oh, well, then I will just talk about the soundtrack real quick because how amazing is all the music in this movie? I mean, besides the score, obviously, but you've got, we've got a lot of Pharrell. We've got some Janelle Monáe, obviously, who, oh my God, I love her so much. You've got gospel. You've got a lot of just old like soul and jazz and just the soundtrack. The songs they used and the score just really, really helped make the movie and set the tone for the time period. So, love it.
Okay.
Oh,
I
you said
went
I like your
with
list. Thank you, Jamie. Sorry.
Yes.
Yay, thanks.
Thank you for the comment, Jamie. Um, hopefully you'll like mine too, because I kind of sort of stole Amanda's idea. Not well, not really, because I couldn't remember what Amanda's was, and I needed a new one since I lost mine. So I went with influential women. Period. No entertainers.
Okay.
So just, I mean, obviously I could have.
So I'm not your number one. Damn it. Just kidding.
You're not even in my top 200. Just kidding. I love you, mean it. I mean, I wouldn't have asked you to co-host on an evening at the movies if you weren't in my top 10.
And I wouldn't have helped you develop an evening at the movies if I didn't care about you so much. Anywho,
Okay,
influential
now I
women.
have
Let's
to
go.
unlock my stupid screen again. Uh huh. Okay, so, but yeah, you could have and had and thrown in the Aretha Franklins and all of that. So I just felt like those would be easy entries into the list, and I feel like there's other influential women that um, deserve to get a little bit more credit. That yeah, most of these get a lot of credit, but I still don't think they get the amount of credit they deserve. So
Because we
I
never
have
do.
five. I don't have well, me. Um, I have five. I didn't have any honorable mentions. So my my number five, not number one. Number five is Marie Curie. Um,
Mm.
for those of you who don't know, first woman to win a Nobel Prize and also the first person to win it dose times. Basically,
Amazing.
huh?
I said amazing.
Basically, the mother of modern physics for the work she did with radioactivity and X-rays. Yeah, definitely sped up the advances of modern medicine with some of that work as well. Um, Number four, Rosa Parks. I mean, are you born under a rock and don't know who she is? But in case you don't, she was arrested in 1955 for refusing to give up her seat on a bus, which should not have been a thing anyway. But you know, whatevs.
To a white
Uh,
man, I might add.
yeah, well, it would. It probably still would have been a thing if it had been a white woman, but probably not as big of a deal because the woman has a lack of a penis. So,
But you know what I know, and not to get into this, but just food for thought. I never, one of the things I never understood about all of this was that back then, at least on the surface level, because we know a lot of shit happened in people's homes, men were quote unquote chivalrous. So why would you open a door for a woman, give up your seat for a woman, do all of these things to be chivalrous, but if it's a black woman, you wouldn't do the same thing? Like, it just, I don't understand how a guy could reconcile that, except that, you know, they were just full of hatred for people that didn't look like them, but it just pisses me off. Anyway, continue.
um, my number three is going to be a woman who probably would be the closest thing that I have on my list to entertainer per se, but Maya Angelou,
Oh, yeah.
and Jamie agrees with you as well.
It's crazy.
Um, Number two, the first female to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, Amelia Earhart, and then no offense, but Honestly, probably the most influential woman in the history of the world, Mother
Oh,
Teresa, number one.
shucks. Who'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said um, probably the most influential woman in the face of God's green earth, but Mother Teresa.
Oh, yeah. I mean, besides our Lord and Savior Taylor Swift, yes, I will give you Mother Teresa. I know you said no
What
entertainers.
my my headset just cut out.
I bet it did. I bet it did. Good
I think my
list.
headset may have cut out, but StreamYard probably has it etched in stone for the world to hear you say.
That's right.
Only because I don't know how to edit video. So
Haters gonna hate, hate,
um,
hate, hate, hate.
that is not my Tay Tay song.
All right. Well,
So do you
let's,
have thoughts and opinions on? Hey, yay! I have a good list as well. Do
you
you have
did.
thoughts and opinions on this epic movie?
I do. I think if you haven't seen this movie, it's from all accounts, it's very true to the actual story, which I appreciate because movies tend to take a lot of liberties. And obviously, this one had to create some of the drama, but for the most part, it seems like it was very faithful to the source material. This is a very important story in history. I mean, you think about going to space and what it means, and you know everything that the people are trying to do. They couldn't have done this mission without Katherine Johnson, and the background stuff without Dorothy and Mary. So it's a great story to learn. The movie is very entertaining. It's very heartwarming, uncomfortable, funny, and inspirational. So, yeah, I have nothing bad to say about this movie. Taraji P. Henson can do no wrong in my book. And
Cookie fucking lions. Need I say more?
yeah, Cookie is a bad ass. Cookie walked so Beth Dutton could
Shut your
run. That's all
mouth.
I'm going to say. um, yeah, Cookie is Beth is the cookie of the Western areas, Western world. Anyway, I am giving this 5 out of 5 human computers.
So yeah, I can pretty much guarantee you that Amanda and I share the same brain because that's how it is. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a very solid cinematic experience. Um, Personally, I don't think anyone fails to deliver an incredible an incredible performance that doesn't connect with the audience, whether it's in a supporting fashion or as a lead. The story is one that needed to be told. Um, we all get the story of the you know traditional heroes, blah 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 blah. What we don't ever get though is the Catherines and the Dorothys and the Marys and all of that as well, um, who have impacted history as well. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend you run, don't walk, and go see it now. This movie gets a 5 out of 5 stars from me, only because that's where they were shooting for. Well, they were shooting for the moon, but
Oh,
you know all of that.
they were
So,
shooting to orbit the
yay!
moon and return safely back home.
Either way, but there's still stars up there. So,
Yes, very good.
so all right, great episode, co-host. But as always, though, we cannot end the episode without thanking the Unpop Kernels for being here each and every week. You guys are amazing. You are incredible. You are the shiznit and all of it rolled up into one. let's see. Jamie said I have not seen it, but need a movie night, buddy. Well, I mean, like I said at the beginning, it is currently available on the HBO Max.
Definitely
So
watch it.
yes, it comes highly recommended by both the intelligent co-hosts on an evening at the movies. So
And we're
uh,
professionals, so you can trust us.
we've been doing this for 5 freaking years, over 300 episodes. So you know we ain't been kicked off the interwebs yet. So of course, other people should have been kicked off the interwebs, but we won't go back down that road. But yeah, thank you to all of our listeners for being here with us each and every week. You guys are incredible. You're amazing. You are our reason to keep watching movies each and every week and then reconvening here on Thursdays, sometimes Fridays, and sharing our opinions with you because our opinions count, damn it. Um, but yes, this does officially put to rest the Women in History slash Female Led Movies Month, which was a lot of fun. And I got to watch three movies that I had not seen before for this month. And one of them was mine. So, um, great idea, co host, for recommending we do this theme this month.
I think it should
But
be every
now that,
March because March is Women's
oh,
History Month. So
I mean, an evening at the movies is going perma theme. So, you know, what is next? I'm glad you asked that question, Jamie, because I was just going to tell you what is next. Because last month being March, but was Amanda's month to pick the theme. So I get the liberty of picking the theme for April. And in April, we're going to be discussing cop movies.
woo.
And I'm not going to we're not going with, and I'm getting ready to give you guys the four movies. So slow your roll. But I feel like there's some obviously easy choices we could have gone with for the big bang for your buck cop movies. And for the most part, we did not really go that direction with our choices for April. So,
That's true.
but next week, hopefully, knock on wood, everything gets back online. But next Thursday, we will be here to discuss one of Amanda's choices, which is, oh God, Let's Be Cops.
Let's be
My brain
cops.
farted. Let's, yes, Let's Be Cops, which Brandy has already watched. And I'm like 3/4 of the way done. So the week after that will be Casey month or Casey week, and we will be discussing Lethal Weapon 4, which I have thoughts about my poor judgment on scheduling this one, but we can talk about that after the show is over.
I feel like I remember not
Then
liking this movie, but I don't know. I haven't seen it forever.
you stink. Lethal Weapon 4 is a classic. Damn it. Um,
Okay, so is Beverly Hills Cop 3, but you don't see me requesting that.
do you want to get fired? Gray is
Carry
not
on.
here. You don't need to chap your lips on his butt.
When have I ever done that? Be so fucking for real right now.
True.
Anyway,
Um, then week 3, we will be discussing Amanda's last pick for the month, which is Super Troopers.
yeah.
I feel like that's one of those movies that she's been wanting on the schedule probably for the whole 5 years that we've been on the interwebs.
It's a top 10 favorite movie for me. So I'm excited.
I feel like that and Empire Records were probably the two that she's been beating her head against the wall to get on. And we did Empire Records last year finally, and this year we're finally going to do Super Troopers.
Rex Manning Day is Wednesday. I think Wednesday. Yeah. Say no
Oh yeah, it is,
more,
isn't it?
money more. So get ready to watch it again.
And then the last week of the month, we will be discussing the Richard
Dreyfuss.
Dreyfuss. Oh my God, I can't. I need to freaking stop.
It's like the
It's
Richards had a
Friday.
baby. Richard Dreyfuss and Richard Pryor.
Yes. Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez classic that is a personal favorite of mine that I again can't believe I've waited 5 years to get on an evening at the movies. But we will be discussing Stakeout.
And my other pick that didn't make it just because it was too hard to pick, and I've been asking for Let's Be Cops forever, but we were going to do Blue Streak. So if you need an extra cop movie to watch, go watch Blue Streak. That movie's so fucking funny. I can't stand it. I'm a federale.
I really wanted to do this theme, and there's so many movies that could have been put in.
There's a lot.
We could have done a different movie every day for the entire month and still probably had leftovers.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, no offense, I love the unpopped kernels, but not enough to be here with them 30 days out of the month. So, but yeah, and then we'll discuss what's coming up in the future now that it looks like we may very well have the schedule figured out almost until Stephen King birthday bonanza after yesterday. But I'm not going down that road because Amanda probably needs to go pee. So.
Probably.
I mean, I know what you've got in that glass sitting next to your computer, so that generally makes you have to go pee. So, with that said, I would like to say thank you to the audience for being here again. Co-host, take us home.
All right, everyone. We hope you enjoyed Women-Led Movies Month, and looking forward to Cops Month. And good luck to the Artemis 2 crew as they are on day 3 now of their mission, I think. Hope they all come safely home, and excited to see what they find out so that in 2028 they can land on the moon. Yay! And yeah. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, or whatever Neil Armstrong said. Thanks for watching, and we hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
I'm dancing.
And read this book.
Peace and hair grease. Vote for Harvey.